tribe, right? As opposed to marrying someone from my tribe. Like, I was born and brought up there. Like, I've lived my life there, almost all my life there. What is really special about you getting glued to your own culture, your tribe, your language, your food, and everything?
So
You don't want to try out that things.
you want to explore.
I love. Thank you very much. I think that's the word. I love to explore. Honestly, I love adventure, and being an adventurous person cuts across board. Beyond traveling, I love to explore other people's cultures. Their way of life, the meals, their local meals, and all of that. And then she said, "No, if imagine I marry someone from the West now, for example." I'm going to find it difficult to even communicate with my husband in his local dialect or local language. And then whose language are my kids going to speak? It's definitely going to be her native language. And at the end of the day, the father's people will now come and say, why are your children not speaking Yoruba language or something? And I'm like, okay, so for you, it's just a way of preserving your own culture, the language and all of that. She said yes. And it's a no-no for me. Not because I don't want to preserve my own, culture or my own language, but I want to learn something new.
I think before a couple will decide to say I do, it has both of them will come to an understanding. There should be a common ground.
Right.
Even the same culture, the same tribe, or even if you're not from the same tribe. So you just come, it's both of you. It has nothing to even do with your extended family.
Right.
It is both of you, because both of you will do the training of the children. You know how to bring them up, and every other thing academically and otherwise. It is both of your choice. So if you decide to remain within your tribe, it's your choice. If you decide to go outside, it's your choice. But as long as both of you will agree.
All right. Okay. So, like I said before, it is International Mother Language Day today. Are you aware of this day, Mr. Vic?
Funny enough, I'm actually aware of it because then I was doing the compilation, but I don't know how this period it actually escapes me because I have my calendar on ground.
Yeah.
Even during my sports show, I make sure that I
acknowledge some of these
days
things, yeah,
and see how it goes. But I don't know how today just skipped my head completely.
You're pursuing money too much, Mr. Vic.
Now the thing now, we just have to look for a way around it. But it's actually, these are days that I always like. The one that really stuck in my head is that of the Women's Day, which is definitely in next month. That's also in my head. But I don't know how this one actually just skipped my head.
All right, so languages are essential to education and sustainable development, serving as the primary means through which knowledge is transferred and cultures are preserved. With approximately 8,324 languages in the world today, many are at risk of disappearing due to globalization and societal changes. Ensuring that education systems support the right to learn in one's mother tongue is crucial for improving learning outcomes. As students who are taught in a language they fully understand, and they also show better comprehension, engagement, and critical thinking skills. Now, multilingual education, particularly for minority and indigenous languages, not only help, the learner or the learners, as it were, but also fosters a deeper connection between education and culture, thereby contributing to more inclusive and equitable societies. Where the theme for this year is Silver Jubilee Celebration of International Mother Language Day. Let's not narrow it down to Nigeria, Mr. Vic. What was it like for you, talking about your formative years in school, maybe basic, primary and eventually secondary education? What was it like? Was there a medley of, the mother tongue or the mother language, side by side English language?
Well, looking at my formative years, I really didn't take languages. I really like for me it's very difficult for me to actually pick up a language, especially when it comes to either writing. I think I'm good with it when I hear it and so on like that. But studying it in school, then no, we didn't do it because of probably the school that I went to. Okay. Again, I keep growing up. I realized that the environment I was influenced me to hear that language. I actually grew up. I was born in the southwest, in
Okay.
Lagos to be precise.
Wow.
And at least my first 14, 15 years was in Lagos.
So you can speak Yoruba, I
I
guess.
speak Yoruba, but not like say 100%, but
Okay.
at least about between 70 to 80%, which is okay.
Mm.
I can communicate with it. That's talking about Yoruba. Now, it's not that someone said to me, I said, okay, come, this is hand, this is eye. No, I was practically hearing them say it and speaking it. I was able to pick from there. So, and funny enough, I didn't now use this language in Lagos. It was when I now came to Abuja, and I now started mixing up with the Yoruba guys.
Right.
And from there, I started using the little one that I know and learned.
Yeah.
So that was how I started speaking Yoruba. Not even in Lagos, but in Abuja here.
Wow.
But in school, I didn't go through languages at all. I didn't go to school. But they now were trying to introduce it. It wasn't my thing, and I couldn't even blend. But now, in this era that we are in now,
Yeah.
I noticed that some schools are doing, not all schools,
Right.
yet not all schools. Now, they will, some will say, okay, it's compulsory you take Hausa. If it is in Lagos, they will tell you to pick Yoruba.
right.
If it's in the East, they will tell you to pick Igbo. So I think that's how I saw that they were doing it. But in my own, I think I will encourage all languages. You know, in school, you pick it Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, so that you can go deep down, but not that because you are in the southwest, you must speak South, you must speak Yoruba. Make it should be a national thing, not because of that geopolitical zone that you are residing.
All right, I'll let you hold your thoughts. We'll go pay some bills. When we come back, the conversation will continue. And family members would like you to be part of the conversation. I'll quickly hand down the studio numbers so you can call as soon as we return from the commercial break. 0907-353-0044 or 0908-766-8888. Send your voice notes and messages already to the WhatsApp portal number on 0909-705-4450. Do join us again.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Do you want to know about cars? Everything about cars, from purchase to maintenance and even road use. Don't go too far. Listen to Top Gear on Eagles 102.3 FM every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Top Gear, let's give you a spin.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Please listen to this announcement. Farex Borehole. We are competent. We are committed. We simplify borehole for your borehole survey, for your borehole drilling, or any of your borehole challenges. Call us on 0803 596 5170. 0803 596 5170. You can visit at Goshen Plaza, opposite Jabi Model Park, Abuja.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
I suppose it was inevitable. Eagles 102.3.
All right, we're back. Thank you so much for staying with us. If you are just tuning in, this is the General Open Banter live on Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja. It is, of course, your radio experience you can count on. I am Omoife Piso Semere. You can call me Ife for short. And, of course, I've got my co-discussant in the studios, Vicky Vic, the sports minister on radio, but this time he's not talking sports. We're talking, local language or languages, as it were. So, Vicky, you actually said something before we actually went on that commercial break, talking about the fact that a number of schools now are trying to incorporate the idea of local language or languages in their curriculum. But again, there are some restrictions,
Yes,
If you happen to be in the north, for example, the option is that you just have to do, a Hausa, and meanwhile you're not, you're not.
And also, again, even if you're in the north, apart from Hausa, that's what Hausa has to do, the general language.
Yes.
There's also Fulani language, you have to use
Right.
Kanuri and a lot. There's Birom and so on like that. You need to. So, but they just tend to just pick Hausa.
Major
majorly Hausa.
languages,
And if
right.
you also go to the let me just use the southeast, there's
Igbo,
Igbo.
yes.
Then now, if you go to South, there's Ijaw and other things that you need to
Urhobo,
learn.
yeah.
So, Urhobo. But those ones now are not really the major, because you have now you're trying to put in those ones. Will you now say, okay, in the South, in the South, should they introduce Urhobo in school? And also, you talk about is restrictions or probably limitations.
Limitations,
Now,
rather.
when you're now writing WAEC, when you're writing WAEC, as a WAEC written in these languages, these are the things that when you're trying to write,
Right.
are they written languages? So these are the things that we need to do. But the main thing, like when you see from the theme, is just to preserve the culture.
Right.
That's what I'm going to take on.
Okay, so at the end of the day now, I mean, if we have a situation where, I mean, if we are clamoring for a situation where we have facilitators of different languages as opposed to, you know, major languages from different geopolitical zones and all of that, how realistic would that be for private schools, for example?
Well, it's not going to be realistic in the sense that everyone will say, okay, I have my own curriculum. Because if you ask me now, this one will say we're operating the British curriculum, this one will say we're using American curriculum, and this one is in Montessori, all those things like that. And now it just puts our educational system. We don't have a common ground on where we are going to. Now, a private university will be thriving than even a public university.
Yeah.
So these are the things that we're looking at. So I wouldn't take for private schools, I wouldn't want to see like if you go to most private schools here in the city center, would it now tell them go and be learning languages? See, I don't think it's going to be. But some private schools in the suburb, yes, I know of one who will say that, okay, you must learn Hausa. You pick Hausa, teach your children Hausa. But I don't really know how it is with some of those so-called big schools or big expensive schools here in the city center.
Well, reflecting on my secondary school days, honestly, I know I wrote Isoko language as a subject when I sat in for junior WAEC examination. Yes, and I had an Isoko language teacher, probably because I was born and brought up in Delta State, and I schooled within the Isoko axis. So it was very easy for us to have a facilitator who understands Isoko language very well. As we speak, I am really very good at speaking my own language, but writing is, you know, a little bit difficult for me. Beyond speaking, are we also mindful of the ability of our children or people to also write in these local languages? Because the ability to write in your local language could also provide some sort of employment opportunity for you in the future.
Sure.
But do we even have such provisions? Are there openings like that? Are there opportunities like that to even accommodate, you know, talents like that? Let me put it that way.
First of all, you ask yourself, when you're writing JAMB, will anyone be willing to go and study a local language in the university? This is also a question that you will ask. Because definitely when you look at that, it's a possibility, because you can go somewhere and interpret. Especially when the white guys come in and they want to go to this certain part of the country, you can stand in for them and interpret.
Like a tourist guide.
Like a tourist guide. So to me, I think now let's go back to the family. Let's start from the family. Now, my dad was in the military, and funny enough, he's posted from this place to this place to this place. So you see that is in north or down in the south. So I didn't even learn my own language, that is Igbo. Now someone will say,
so do you feel bad about it?
Honestly speaking, at a point, I felt bad. I felt bad in the sense that I could not communicate, but I can hear you speak, because my mom had to make sure that we could hear and communicate, but I couldn't communicate, but I can hear you speak. But for Yoruba, like I said, I had to start using it because I was with my peers, my friends, so I was able to communicate. So looking at that, that's why the Igbos, one way or the other, they always want to find their roots back home. They always want to find their roots back home. Some are also trying to copy that thing. So after you finish, you come back home. I have a Yoruba friend who also makes sure that once it is Christmas, every Christmas, from Abuja here, he wants to go back to his extended family in the southwest. Wow. So I see that a lot. I think it is good trying to preserve your culture. And funny enough, I don't want to say to make matters worse, I got married not to an Igbo lady. I got married to someone that is from Jos. So,
So do you know how to speak Hausa now?
I can communicate those little ones.
The basic
one,
okay.
like greeting when you want to go to, a Hausa guy, when you speak with an Hausa guy, if you want to, those little ones, they say, this one is my person. Then if you're adding Jara, you add plenty Jara as well in the market. But at least when it comes to Igbo, there's at least just those little ones, the elementary Igbos, I can really, but just going deep down, I'll just sit down and be observing you and try to pick the meaning from what you're saying. So I think it now boils down to parents to do more. That's not an excuse, because if I really wanted to do, I'm not really a language person.
Right.
Yes. So that's why I didn't even bother trying to even go to an extent to even learn Igbo.
Yeah.
I even see it more difficult than the Hausa and Yoruba. But some will tell that no, Yoruba is difficult. Some will say Hausa is difficult. But the truth of it is that just to preserve the culture, I think we are beginning to lose it.
Okay.
Yes, we're beginning to lose it.
And well, for me, I think civilization has actually brought about more harm than good. And whilst we want to have the parents, especially the mothers, because now the new generation of mothers that we have, I really think from my own observation that they are treating very important issues with so much levity, and that also has to do with the language or the culture, because I feel like I'm sending my child to school. Why is your teacher there? Why am I paying this huge amount of money?
That's the mistake
but
I'm
the teacher
making.
in school is probably not from your place and might not be able to really teach your child how to speak the local language. So at the end of the day, it comes back home. They say charity begins at home. Right? So it's the role of the mother, honestly, if you ask me.
Yeah,
the father might want
look exactly. Now looking at the motherly role, my wife, like I said, is from Jos.
Right.
Her mom is from the East. So she knows Igbo even more than me.
Wonderful.
So now she has that assignment to do. That's what I'm
Okay. All right. Samuel from Kuje says, greetings, my sister Moefe and the guest in the studio. Well, he is actually the sports minister, Vicky Vic. Of a truth, some of the present-day parents are not doing well. Some don't even have time for their children, talk less of teaching them in their mother tongue. Even in the house, some of us find it difficult to speak our language to our children, and this is not helping matters at all. Our school system don't even have room for our local language anymore. In some schools, you will be punished for speaking any local language.
Yes.
Only God will deliver us, have a fulfilled and a happy day. You too, Samuel, thank you so much for that message. But it's really very sad.
Very sad.
Can we now strike a balance that, during school hours, communicate in simple and correct English, then when you get home? That's
why the role of the parents will now come in. You are sending your kids out to school
to learn how to read and write.
Get the academic knowledge, but using your languages, in as much as you want to, you should do the introductory aspect of it, the elementary aspect of it. That will do well. But the large chunk of the work will come with you at home. Then with the little that you have instilled in your children. Now when they start interacting out there with that little, you see them learning more. Like what I now do to assist my wife, I go online, go on YouTube, get some of these videos that some are already putting them. Then I now go home and allow the kids to be able to watch and get learn from them. My wife will do adding the salt and pepper to it. Only for me to come back home, I was so shocked that my last girl, she was even speaking, demonstrating, and then I was like, wow, this is cool. So I think the large chunk of this work will come with parents at home. Now, a couple of days back, I was watching TV where the Danish government, the Denmark government, were trying to return artifacts that they looted or probably stole from Nigeria many centuries ago. Now to tell them, they don't even need it. They don't even need it. Just only carried it to beautify their museum and so on. But now they want to return it back home to Benin, so that at least those at home in Benin will have a history. There's the stories out there, so that they will know this is what our parents were doing those days. This is what they were able to come up with their own knowledge. So culture with what's happening in International Mother's Day will go a long way. All
right, family members, the numbers to call are 09087668888 or 09073530044. Don't forget that you can leave a message or a voice note on the WhatsApp portal, which is 0909705 4450. We missed a couple of calls already because we just had to like banter. Share our thoughts on this, right? And the conversation is also live on YouTube and Facebook. Do well to leave a comment, share your thoughts with us. We'll be glad to acknowledge your thoughts as a parent, right? And even as a person, how well can you speak your local language or your mother language? How well can you communicate? Can you actually speak your local language just to save your life? Can you? And as a parent, are you really impressed with what is going on across our schools? The basic, primary, secondary, and even tertiary levels. Are you really impressed with what is going on in such a way that it's like we are so engrossed with this English language? I'm not trying to say that there's anything wrong with us, learning and knowing how to speak English language, because it's very important. You won't go to the bank and start, there's no way you're going to feel what's it called now? A teller in your local language. But if we have a system like that, Vic, don't you think it would be very beautiful?
Yeah, it will be. Looking at the first instance, okay, it's new. Okay, everybody admire it, but once it starts getting used to that, I don't think it will really go that way. I don't think it will even work at all. Having such a system, we have so many languages in Nigeria,
right?
Over 250. Where you want to start from? Now look at it now. Now the three major tribe languages we have. They'll tell you that you should add one. So ever since Goodluck Jonathan became the president of Nigeria, they should not add Ijaw as one of the fourth major language in Nigeria. So where would you want to start from? That's just it. And even when you're even speaking your language or probably teaching your kid language, will you start communicating in mathematics? Because when you go to some villages, there are some students who don't even know how to speak English,
right? But
they're in school there in the village. I saw a video on social media where a child was trying to solve mathematics and the teacher was speaking in his own language, and I was wondering, how will this child even the child might possibly get something out of it?
Yeah.
But the truth of it is that we have so many languages in this world. Like if you go to France, we know that French is their language.
Yeah.
They can basically teach in France. It's just one language. But in Nigeria, we are so much. 250 languages. That's just it.
All right, we'll just take a quick break to go pay some bills, and best believe when we return at the top of the hour, this conversation will continue, because I think it's a conversation that is very important, and we shouldn't just ruffle feathers on it. Let us have the conversation. Let it be in depth, honestly, because people need to understand that we are probably turning a blind eye, or we are ignorant of the fact that our languages are gradually going into extinction. And it's really a very, very disturbing trend, because if we continue like this in the next 2-3 years, we'll have a lot of regrets.
With I and everything.
Thank you very much. Let's go pay the bills. We'll be back in a bit. Just stay with us.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Hello and welcome to Uber Pinnacle City Lugbe, where dreams take flight. I am here with Mr. Franklin, a representative from Uber Properties. Welcome, sir.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Mr. Franklin, let's dive right in. What makes Uber Pinnacle City Lugbe so special?
Uber Pinnacle City Lugbe is a luxurious estate located in the heart of Abuja, offering a range of infrastructure amenities that cater for the needs of our residents. From 24/7 power supply and security surveillance to shopping centers and parks, we have got everything you need to live your best life.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Can you tell us about the types of properties available?
We have a range of options to suit different needs and budgets. Our 5-bedroom fully detached duplexes with boys' quarter and swimming pool are perfect for large families or those who want to live in style. We also have 4-bedroom semi-detached duplexes and 3-bedroom terrace duplexes available.
I must say you have a lot of options. But now, what about pricing? How affordable are these properties?
We are offering very competitive pricing for our properties. For example, 600 square meter of our 5-bedroom fully detached duplex starts at 3.5 million naira. 500 square meter of our 4-bedroom semi-detached duplex is going for 3 million naira, while the 250 square meter of our 3-bedroom terrace duplexes is going for 2.5 million naira.
Wow, that's very affordable. What about financing options? Do you have any special promos or discounts available?
We are currently running a super promo that offers discounts on our properties. We also have financing options available through our partners to make it easier for our customers to own their dream homes.
Oh, that's nice. I understand that you are operating with the approval of the Federal Capital Development Authority, FCDA. Can you please tell us more about that?
Yes, that's correct. We are proud to say that Uba Pinnacle City Lugbe is being developed with the full approval of the FCDA. This ensures that our estate is being built to the highest standards and that our customers can have complete peace of mind when investing in their dream homes.
That's great to hear. Peace of mind is really everything. How can our listeners get more information about Uba Pinnacle City Lugbe and take advantage of this super promo?
They can visit our website at www.uberpropertieslimited.com or send us an email at info@uberpropertieslimited.com. They can also call us on 081 64 75 5708 or 091 26 66 8563. Let me just take the number again: 081 64 75 5708 or 091 26 66 8563.
Our office address is at Suite 18C and D, Anon Plaza, Gudu, Abuja.
We are also available on all social media handles.
Thank you for sharing this amazing opportunity with us, Mr. Franklin.
Thank you once again for having me.
Don't forget, when one door closes, buy another one and open it yourself. Uba Pinnacle City Lugbe is where dreams take flight. Contact them today to make your dream of owning a luxurious home a reality.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Nigeria. Hello, Abuja. I bring you greetings from Push Africa. My name is Doris Dame, aka the Dame of the FCT. I am the founder